Hello everyone, this is Moses from Zaatar Gardens. This is my all-in-one almond. I've done multiple videos on this almond tree. And here we are again. This is the 7th of January 2018. I'm in Central California, Zone 9B. I'm going to do a quick little demonstration of how I train my tree with my pruning saw. I push the saw against the tree and go right down and cut off, right at the collar. Okay, that's a line for me to cut at. So this was a huge branch I cut out. I cut right at the collar, and look how it's healing over. You see all the older cuts that I cut at the collar? They're gone. No more stubs, no more suckers coming out of them, nothing. Perfect, it looks beautiful. Normally I like to have everything at knee high. But with the almond, because it's in the corner, I want to be able to see everything back there. I don't want it to be knee high and grow from here and it's blocking everything, blocking my walkway. So I pruned it higher and opened up the canopy up top here so it can be a little higher so I can walk around it. And also, if you see, there's less growth here compared to here because I want to be able to walk around. Control your garden. Don't let your garden control you. So it's going to grow, it's almost going to be half a tree. You see here, you see those buds? Those buds? Now look far away. You see those? Those everywhere. Okay, there's enough flowers. Almonds very productive. You see this inward growing stem going this way? I don't want to crowd the center all the way at the limb. Cut off. As close as you can get it. Over here as well, coming into the center. All the way, cut off. This as well. It's odd, I'm looking at the camera, the screen, instead of real life. Take off these two. So, you see I have something growing inward, but it went up more, so I trained it to go out. This one's gonna go out. As you can see, this started, let me go from this angle. Oops, sorry. You see how it started going inwards? So I pruned it to grow outward, but it kept on going in. So I could either decide to take this whole thing out, or take it out from here and have this green growth grow out. But you see how crowded it is? You see this? I can't even see through. So all that growth. Let's see. I really wish I could have two hands or my pruning saw, but it's okay. All that's coming out. Now look how much it opened up. Let's go from this angle. Don't be afraid to prune. Now you see I could see through a little bit, and I took out this much. And a lot of people will go, oh, look how many flowers. So what? There's tons more. This is growing in. This is really growing in. There's tons more. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just prune out. Make sure the center is nice and open. Do you see how it's starting to get open? This is ultimately what you want. This is my peach, nectarine, apricot, and plum tree. You see how open this is? Look how beautiful that is. To me, it's beautiful, like a bonsai. Well, a big bonsai, but it's formed like a bonsai. Everything was pruned. Everything was pruned at the collar, so everything looks like it was designed that way. But it wasn't. This started growing up, cut it. This started growing inward, cut it. This started growing too far. I didn't want heavy fruit and then laying it down, so I pruned to a bud that was growing up, so I cut it. Now, but after it heals more and more, it's going to look like it's going to just snake. It looks like everything is natural, but this has all been pruned in this fashion. And some prunes have to be hard, like this. This will heal right over. Much like this did right here. This was a huge cut. I took out a big limb here. Look, you can't even tell anymore. Like here as well. And there. Don't be afraid. I know I took away from the almond video, but just to show you what ultimately what would be beneficial. Now you see right here, I saw is this limb growing inward, touching this one. I go, oh, I don't like that. Initially, I was just about to cut this right now, but following this limb down, I can see this is sort of growing inward. I don't like it. That's kind of a big limb but let me see what I can do. No, that's a big limb. So this will be removed with my pruning saw later on, right after this video. But this is going to go. All that. And this one too. Right here. Right here. This one growing in. I don't know why I even kept that one. This is growing just inward and crowding the center. Right here. I don't even know why I left it. I could see last year's cut was here. I don't know why I kept this one. I don't know why I did it. So that's all going to come out, and this is going to come out. So I'll have this one, and this one going out. Another one growing in. Oh well. Let's see. Actually, this is pretty good. Take this one out. Don't like it. It's not going to do nothing for me. What, make 2 almonds right in the middle? Don't forget, after every, I don't know, 10 cuts or 15 cuts, just sharpen the blade a little bit. Don't allow it to get dull and then make a wrong cut that didn't cut well and won't heal right. So just maybe even every 20 cuts is fine. But, you know, don't forget to sharpen your blade every once in a while. That's what this is right here. Just run it across the blade, it sharpens right up. And always look for dead wood as well, right here. Sometimes dead wood fools you with almonds. You see how it's wrinkly right here? But yet at the tip it's starting to grow new growth. In my experience in the past, when I let something like this grow, thinking, oh, it's still growing, these don't, these open up flower and the flowers just drop. It's kind of like that limb's last chance to try to grow, let's say. So this all needs to come out right here. So just make sure, especially with almonds, because almonds are susceptible to leaf-footed beetles, leaf-footed bugs. So they love hanging out in here, laying their eggs. Any low-growing branches, because I want these to be my big branches here. I don't want to start any new ones. These are very tiny. They do have flower buds, but they're going to be shaded out by all this growth from above. So it's best just to knock all these off. It's because it won't produce for you, and it's going to steal all the first nutrition and first liquids and everything that come up. They're going to take it first, and then the rest will get it. So forget that. They're not going to produce nothing for you. Now you see this one right here. You see this one right here? Growing on top of a bigger, nicer limb. All this is going to come out all the way down. This is going to grow out, is going to shade out this limb, which I'm going to want to grow outward. I don't like this limb coming from that point. I like this limb coming from that point. This one here is crossing over. Don't like that. Take it out. Okay, with this here, I'll look up. You see how of a mess it is? This is coming from this branch. This is coming from that branch way over there going towards this direction, but yet it wants to grow this way. So this is going to be a drastic cut. I see a lot of people, how they prune is they prune from tips. Not a lot, but there's many that just prune from the tips. They don't look inward and prune from the base and prune outward. Start from the inside. Why do a million cuts when you could just do one cut? Like they would, instead of what I'm about to do is cut this limb. I don't like it. This one's growing towards this way, away from this scaffolding here. I like that. This one is going towards that. I don't like it. So what they'll do, some people I've seen at their homes when I'm trying to help them prune, they'll cut here, 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 away from here, but I don't want to lose this limb. The limb is going to start growing outward again from this point. Get rid of all of it right here, right there. Done. Over with. Make clean cuts and make as few as possible. And hide your cuts. Do it as best you can. Right to the collar. These big cuts are going to turn into those dark spots. You won't even notice them in about a year or two. Don't make stubs. Prune right to the collar, that black line, that's where I'm going to cut. Right there, exactly. And you see how big of a cut that was? Right there. Look how much. Don't be afraid to cut. Now it's opened up. Now I can see through because it's going to fill out. And the more it fills out, the more leaf-footed beetles or bugs are going to come in. More problems, powdery mildew. There needs to be sun in here, and if it's crowded too much, you only need to get fruit on the tips. Any fruit that's in the middle of the tree is not going to ripen or grow. So right to the collar. Exactly. Don't leave a stub. Now, to prevent too much dieback, because I've had that issue where I go straight to an outward growing bud, I go right above it in the past. I cut right here, hopefully that this outward growing bud will grow out. Well, what will happen is it will die back, and now that bud is gone. So now it's going to grow to the inward growing. It's happened to me before. I won't make that mistake again. So what I do is I cut a little bit above and let it die back. I cut a little bit above and let it die back. Then I come back later and I just break them off or cut them off. See? Now when that heals over, it's going to be nice and rounded off. It's not going to have a little stub. Just like that, and this one over here. It's going to be beautiful. Remember, don't worry about making a wrong cut. Like I said in the other video, gardening is like a painting that you never sign because it's never done. And now walking towards it, just imagine I'm walking and walking and walking, and I want to just reminisce in my garden. I want to relax. I want to enjoy stuff. And if I allow this limb to grow and I don't notice it, it could hit my eye or my face. I don't need that problem. So I think, I didn't want to do this, but I think I'm going to make this into a half tree as well. Let's see. You see how it's half a tree? I want all this open so I can enjoy this. I don't want anything growing like this in the way of here. I won't do a complete half tree like I did my Dapple Dandy Pluot, but that limb right here and that limb is most likely going to be, that one for sure, and this one might be shortening down or it's going to go completely. So what I mean by cutting on the collar is just like I did here in July. This was a branch going upwards and crowding out the center and shading out the center, so I took it out right at the line. I put my pruning saw right on against the wood and sawed it right off. I didn't leave a stump. And see how it's healing nicely about 6 months later? So the line, this dark circle right here, that's exactly at the collar. You want to cut right there. You don't want to leave a stump. A lot of books say cut out here and leave a stump so you don't cut on the collar. If you do that, it's going to leave it's going to leave a dark stump. It's going to die off. It can be an entryway for insects to get into your tree. It's going to allow for little suckers to come out all over the place forever, and it will just keep on growing. You're going to keep on rubbing them off or cutting them off over and over, and it's going to allow more stumps to grow. It's going to be ugly. So just cut right there. And that's what I'll be doing right now. Just like that. Nice and smooth. Nice and clean. You see that? So when this heals over and this heals over, it's going to heal over, and just go out that way. It's going to look like it was naturally done that way. That's what you want. You want to hide your cuts. You don't want your cuts to, just like in sewing, you want the best stitch is the stitch you can't find. You don't want, in pruning, you don't want to see any cuts, much like down here again, where long ago they just start disappearing. So right over here, I have another problem. You see how much crossing over up here? So friends that have gone to their homes when they're doing their prunings, they call me over saying, can you teach me? How can I do this a little bit better? Or how do you envision the tree? Just envision in your mind, nice and open. This is not open. This is not open. I can't even tell which branch is going to what bigger branch. I don't know what's going on. So in this case, always take out the center. Nice and open. If I take out this, oh excuse me, I didn't even touch the right one. If I take out this one, these two are touching. If I take out this one, these two are touching. So take out the middle. As you can see, open it right up. Not cutting here, cutting here, cutting here, 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 here. this one off because it's growing inward, all this stuff, all those cuts, you just made one cut and took out the whole branch. Nice and easy. But you have this, we have the same problem here where we have 3 branches just growing like almost in a tube together. We have one here, and one there. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Which one do I choose? Remember what I said last time? Center. I take out this, these 2 are touching. I take out this, these 2 are touching. Take out the center, and those 2 on the edge are going to be like this and like this. Nice and open. And voila, nice and open. Middle's out. And now I have to go through and cut, try to open up the tree from the tips. I open it up from the base. Done. Now with the remaining branches from that center cut, you see this limb is growing on top of this one, out a ways, and then following it, this one, following it over that. Initially I was going to say maybe I should just cut it from the base, but this one here is growing out away into the open center. This one as well, it's growing out away in the open. So what I'll probably do, or what I will do right now, is just cut this limb that's out to the edge off, right there. Nice and open. Don't act up now. Nice and open. Opened it up. Now you can see there, 1, 2, 3 going out that way from two different branches. So that's okay. And I trimmed them down too a little bit. So always manage the height as well. You don't want it too tall because you want to be able to reach your fruit without a ladder. So just prune above and outward growing bud. Another thing you want to watch out for is long, skinny, brand new branches like this one here. See how long it is? If the flowering is here, and there's a couple little flowers here, but not many, but regardless, there's vegetative buds here that are going to grow out more. So imagine how heavy this is going to get just with leaves, and if it rains, you know, it's going to get heavier because of the water on the leaves. It's going to go lower, 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 and lower. It's going to snap, and it may snap from down there. Now I lost this whole structure because I was too greedy over here. So cut it. I'm going to just cut it to the flowers right there. As you can see how much I've pruned off from this little tree. Don't be afraid to prune hard. Clean it up. This is at least almost 2 feet tall mound. And all from there. Very drastic change from when I started, correct? Another tip you have to do, it's a must. Walk away from the tree and look at it. Yes, it's drastically changed from when we started. We started walking towards it and looking at it, and we're ending midway and ending walking towards it and thinking, is this still good enough? Now, I know I drastically took out from here because I mentioned I didn't want to grow anything this way. So that's why it looks a lot thinner. But when you get closer, there's still a lot of buds. I mean, a lot. But you know, maybe throughout the year I'll restructure to make it look a little bit better. But for now, that looks okay with me. Nothing's crossing over too much. All the dead branches, damaged branches are gone. There was no disease that I saw. Actually, some tips were. They're removed and thrown away. Don't keep them on the floor. But everything is spaced enough now. Before, if you remember, you couldn't even see through. You know, now, I mean, I do have this one crossing over with this, but I'll see how it plays out. I'm not going to take everything off. Don't take too much off, too. You may stress the plant out as well. You know, just see how it plays out. If, you know, April, May, June comes around and you know it's totally not working out, come in and prune. I've done plenty of videos of my one moment, of my Saturn peach. I've been slowly pruning here, where I've done heavy pruning in the summer. Don't worry about it, you know. This is 5 years in the making on this 4-in-1 tree. Everything takes time. And the almond is not like the peach or nectarine or apricots. It really just wants to do its own thing. It's kind of like almost like the avocado tree I have. It just wants to grow any which way possible. Alright everyone, happy gardening. Don't be afraid to cut hard. Bye.